Ciao guys, I know that it looks long, but it is an amazing interview with Tommaso Rumici, one of the most sought after designers in the world, who has been commissioned work by the most renowned makers in the industry. You will see a lot of knives and how a knife is designed and created. I think you will love it. And here we are with instead the mind behind a lot of the knives that I'm sure you are using and that have been developed with Scintilla, and many knives that have been produced then by the industry, especially here in Italy. And Tommaso Rumici is a designer, has been working in the industry for many, many years, despite he is very young. And he has been behind all of this and many more. I will let him explain about his history, starting from a simple question is how did you start?
Okay, so first of all, hi guys, and thank you for this interview. So I started in 2005, so a lot of years ago, and I started with this one.
And this is
the Viper Fearless, and it's now out of stock. But a few years ago, we did a second run of this model, because after 15 years from the first one, we had a lot of requests, and Viper decided to do a second batch of knives.
Okay, but so you started right from the get-go with something really beautiful, in my opinion, but not just that. There is some lines that are different from the usual. How did you come out with this kind of design? And I mean, you were very young, and this was your first knife.
Yes.
How did you come with the idea of this knife?
I didn't start as designer, and I didn't start with the idea of a production. This was a knife I was designing for me, and the idea was to make one of a kind, probably with a knife maker, just for my personal use. So I showed a few designs, a few sketches to Marco from Coltelleria Scintilla, and also to my friends from Coltelleria Collini here in Italy. And they suggest me to try to contact a few brands in Maniago and see if someone was interested in putting the design into production. So I made a first phone call, and it was with Viper.
Yeah.
And I didn't need to do any more.
They were immediately in love with this design.
Yes, we at the beginning we met, and then we started working on the final design. And anyway, it took at least 6 months from the beginning to the final one. But yes, it was my first idea, my first design, and I started with them.
Of course, it's a tactical knife, but can you tell me a little bit more? Do you have here some wooden parts?
Yes, I took all the wooden prototypes that I used to develop the final shape.
Okay, this is very interesting. So do you start by writing down something? How do you start with an idea? What was your first idea? I need a tactical knife.
Give me a moment.
For myself. Is that? I'll show it.
This one was probably one of the first sketches of the knife.
So you can draw for sure. And so this was, what did you have in mind? You had in mind something that was tactical, and even that you could use anyway, even in for bushcraft situation or something like this?
The idea was to have a knife that can handle any type of situation.
Okay.
So small enough to be carried a lot.
Yeah.
And with an upper guard, so suitable also for fighting.
Yeah.
But obviously, I'm not in the military. I'm not fighting every day with anyone. So the idea was to take it also in outdoor situations, and I really did it after it came out.
Okay, yes, and I can assure you, yeah, the grip is fantastic here if you want to use it with a forward grip, but I can feel that you could use it very easily even for chopping if you really have to go that way, even if it is not meant, the blade is not meant for that. But I can show you, I don't know, I hope you can see there is this grinding that is really, really beautiful actually, the way it is done. Almost supposed to be a double edge, although it is a single edge, even because here in Italy
it was made for double edged, but it wasn't sold with double edge.
Yeah.
There are a few that are now with some military users that are double edged.
Yeah, because we have to remind that he has a close contact even with the final users, and some of the final users are people in the military who, I mean, do that for a business. Okay, and as you can see here, it reminds a dagger.
If you look at it this way, there are a few features that declares it fighting
tool.
Yes, because you see we have hollow grinds that is not common on utility knives.
Yes.
And also the upper guard and the back skull crusher.
Yeah, you can see here. Of course, guys, we are talking about professionals, okay? None of us is going to fight nobody, okay? But there are professionals who are into this. I mean, it's their job, and we are grateful that they exist, actually. You started with the sketches,
yes,
and then you built the.
This was the evolution. This one is.
There is a date
pretty
here,
similar.
12/06/05/2004. So almost exactly to the date.
Okay, so this one was the first sketch ever, and this one was a bit evolved.
Yeah.
But you see, the knife is the same of the first
yes
mock-up.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I started working on the ergonomics.
Yes.
And so I tried with some more peculiar shapes.
Yes.
Then I prefer to don't continue with the finger grooves because they are a bit they limit how you can handle the knife in various situations. So if you want an outdoor knife, maybe it's not the best solution.
Yes, sure.
They are really great on a Randall 14, but not on this project. So the next step was this one, getting rid of any.
I see that you put even the color. You wanted to see really how it
was
coming out.
I just wanted to try different things. And here you have the other one. Then
this was also 2610, so a few months later, 5 months later.
I also tried a few different solutions, like this one with the paracord handle, and this one was made as a study of ergonomics, taking the shape of the end and looking what it could be.
What is this?
This one is
clay.
Yes, probably.
Yeah. Okay, and but I'm curious.
And then
yes. Oh yes, this is more similar to the final.
The final. They are quite the same.
Yeah.
And
with the jimping as well here.
This is a more outdoor version without the upper guard, but it wasn't so interesting.
So they were not interested in this, and just they
No, but also me, I wasn't interested in this one,
Okay.
because it doesn't give you anything more than the
okay, I
original.
understand. But I'm curious. So you are a young guy that wants to do something with a knife. So I guess you have the dream of a knife. Did you have any inspiration for this kind of knife, or you were just young and crazy enough to just say, I do it the way I want it?
Okay, I didn't have any inspiration, but I started as a knife collector and a knife guy.
Yeah.
So I've been quite lucky, because I'm born in the 1983.
See?
So I grew up probably in one of the best era for knives, because during the 80s, but also during the 90s, we had a lot of great designs, and it's the time when all the military knives start to develop. We had some new categories coming out, like the fighter utilities and so on. So it was really a good period, because you have a lot of ideas going around. You have a lot of new solutions coming on the market.
Yeah.
So I had no specific inspirations,
Yes.
but I had a lot of inspiration from everywhere.
Okay, I totally get it. So from a knife of like this, the second step what was you were quite successful with this one.
Mhm.
So you said, okay, I'm gonna do this as a job, or what did you say? I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna try to make another one.
No, I simply followed the flow.
Yeah,
Because after this one, Fantoni, who was another maker that is no more in business,
Yeah.
he came to me asking for a design. So this one, this is the folding version, but the original design was a fixed one, a neck knife. So this one was my second design together with the fixed version.
Fantoni is the maker that he is talking about, and is not anymore in the business. And this one is a backlock. I remind everybody that I'm totally a newbie in the, especially in the folding knives world. And so I'll let you describe this one. I can see already, even here, you have a sort of a fighting style, tactical style, with a very good guard here, which I think he will tell me is goes into the same philosophy of this one, to have the hand steady connected to the knife. It gives a tactical feeling with a beautiful flow of the lines, and I think there is a beautiful contrast between the curves of the blade and the more boxy style of the handle. But please tell me a little bit more about
Okay,
this.
so the original design was a fixed one, and it was a neck knife, probably in the wrong moment, because at the time the Italian market was not interested in neck knives.
Yeah.
They came a lot of years later, so probably it was 10 years before the right moment. The folding one, the design of the folding one, there are some reasons for this handle, because I didn't want a liner lock or a frame lock. I wanted a backlock, because it's a mechanical system that I really like. Now it's not so common, because they prefer liner locks or frame locks usually, or axis locks and so on. But I really like this one, because it's really secure. It's also easy to do in the right way.
Yes, I know, because I saw a video of you using the knife, because he knows about knives and he knows how to use them really well. and I saw a video where you can show that you can use everything, even a backlock, with just one hand.
Yes, but the thing is, it's easier because you can be right-handed or left-handed, but in some situations you have something in your hand and you need to use the other one. So on a backlock, you have the lever is always in the same place, so I can do whatever I want with both hands, and I don't need to remember that the liner is on the wrong side and so on.
I understand.
So especially for tactical knives and for knives that are meant to be used in situation where you don't exactly, you are not calm, you don't have so much time, so you need to make it work. In my opinion, a backlock or an axis lock or something ambidextrous is always the best solution.
Okay, I get it. And instead you were saying that, so I was noticing that here you were focused, tell me if I'm wrong, with this kind of even more pronounced guard to make it safer even in the use. Is correct?
Yes. And on this one, probably on the neck knife was intended also for self-defense.
Yes.
This one was intended mainly as a EDC tool.
Okay, yeah.
So you have something that is really hard to slip from your hand, and also this guard is large enough so you can also place your index here and do something more precise and do small works.
Okay. And so let's stop a second here because I think this is interesting. So before we go on with the other knives, so I can see you are very focused on the end use of the knife. So is this something that you think when you are designing a knife in general? So you start from, let's say, this knife is going to be used for that thing, so I am going to do this kind of design. Or is instead more of an aesthetic feeling that you're looking, or anything else? Tell me.
Okay, I can explain you with my knives.
That's okay.
For example, let me choose. This is one of my designs.
Yes.
This one too.
Yes.
And this one
as well
is another one.
Yes.
And this one is another one.
So they are very different. I mean, the first thing that I can tell you is that
yes,
there is no one like the other.
You see, there are some other designers, some colleagues that are you can immediately recognize their style.
Yes.
Because maybe they put some lines are in every design they do. So they have a good family feeling between all their works. It's not how I work. I don't care about the aesthetics.
Yes.
Because I want the knife to be used.
Okay.
And that's why I started working, and I wanted to continue working with the industries, because I don't want to become a knife maker and sell a knife for $8,000, for example.
You hope
because
for.
no, because I want my knives to be in the field.
Yes, I understand. Okay.
I prefer
to see them
people to use them, because they are designed to be used. I don't care to do fantasy blades or presentation blades. It's not my
it's not your style. Yes,
design.
For sure.
So every time I start from how you want to use the knife, what are you going to do with this kind of blade, and I focus mainly on the ergonomics, because the ergonomics for me is everything. Because I can give you several different blade profile. If you have the right handle, you can do the job. At the end, you can do the job. If the handle doesn't work, All the rest is we don't need to speak about steel heat treating and everything else if the handle is wrong.
Yes, and I totally get it, because it's the connection between the tool and yourself. I feel like I'm more connected to the knife, and I think it is even more beautiful, the knife, because I don't remember who someone said that, but basically there are some knives, some designs, and some constructions where you, as soon as you grab them, you know how they are meant for. They are meant for as a tool for bushcraft or as a tactical knife. And so when you design, you are focusing mainly on the ergonomics, but I feel like there is always in the knives that I review, there is always a feeling of the way you are connected to the knife, between the balance of the weight, between the handle and the blade. Is that something that is in your mind when you are reviewing, or
Yes,
is it just only in
absolutely,
my mind?
because it's something that really it's part of what you are doing next, because different knives, different uses means different balance, a different ideal balance.
Yes.
Okay, because if I feel I want to cut wood, I need the way to be
A little bit forward.
yes,
towards
to the point.
Yes.
If I'm going to fight, I prefer
To have it
on the handle, because I want the knife to stay in my hand.
Sure.
And I don't need so much weight.
Okay.
Because I want to change directions.
Okay. Yes.
And that's why you see some designs that are so different. Because, for example,
yes, even
here,
this one,
if I stay with these finger grooves, it could be great for the usual kind of handle grip, or this one.
Yes.
Also for the reverse grip.
Yes.
But if I want to use it also in outdoor situations, and I need to do this,
that is not good.
It's not working.
Yeah.
So that's why on the Carnera, you see the handle is mainly built to be handled like this.
Yes.
Because for such a big knife, you don't need to use it in reverse grip or something so strange.
Yes, sure.
On this one, that is a knife I designed for Oberland. You see, this is really small. This is meant to be a really all-rounder. So you can use it in any way, and the handle allows you to do everything you know.
Beautiful, beautiful knife, this one. I didn't know it. Okay. But okay, now I took you out of your course of the evolution of your knives. So we were here. Okay. After this one, what was your next blade, and then
after that one, I designed these two.
And do you remember the year? This one?
Probably in the next year, or maybe the same year.
Which
so around 2006, 2007.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know they were so old. These two.
Yes. This is the new version, but they are quite similar to the original one.
Golia, David and Golia, and made by Viper. I mean, these are great knives. Very thick blade. More this one again, more with the false edge here, and this one instead of full spine of the blade. It's full all the way to the point. And these instead you made them, I guess, with the different kind of use in mind of the knife.
These two were made for outdoor.
Yes.
So not for fighting, not for anything else, but for outdoor. They are also appreciated in the military community, but they are not meant to be military knives at the beginning.
Yes, sure. And now that I look at your handle, not everybody likes this contour of the handle. I personally like it, but I mean, because even in the two positions, holding it in the normal position and even in the backward position, I never feel like this is uncomfortable. Many people like complain because in this way it's a little bit more uncomfortable to hold it this way. Not for me, I have to say, but I have small hands, might be different from everybody. And but what it gives me more when I grab it this way is the feeling of being nestled. I mean, be in the blade, in the handle. So, what is your take on this part of your?
If you notice on this one, you have two holes.
Yes.
Because the idea is that you can also
put
make something with the paracord, so your handle is completely inside the knife and you don't risk to lose the knife. For example, if you are tired because you are working for too much with the knife.
Okay, yeah.
But you see,
yes, different. Yes, for sure.
Okay, they are completely different.
And even this one.
And also
yeah.
This one.
Yes.
Because it depends how much the knife weighs.
Okay. Oh yes, this is interesting. So we were discussing about this part of the handle, this contour.
Let me help you.
Yes, this contour is more pronounced here, and I was saying that I actually like the knives with a little bit of contour here. I don't know, maybe I feel safer. I don't know. It is just my feeling. But he's basically saying that he is not focused on one design or the other. He does it in accordance to the use of the knife. Yes, and tell me, so when are you going to have a handle of this kind instead of more open grip?
Usually, when I think that the weight is a bit more.
Yes.
And probably at some point the knife try to slip off your hand.
Okay.
Okay. So if the knife is small and if you're not supposed to use it for a long time during really hard tasks,
yes,
probably you won't find this one.
Okay, and so you produced you designed this one. Viper produced it, and this has been on the market for many years and still now in the market, and so it's still sold right now. So it was very successful design.
Yes, absolutely. It's really appreciated because it is versatile. So you can do quite everything with this kind of knife, and especially with this length.
Yes, for sure. Yes. Okay, and this after this blade, what is your next design?
I don't have everything here because you know, I designed around 40 different lines of products. So making the full story will be really complicated.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Sure.
And so, I wanted to show you also some of the latest designs because obviously after 20 years I am probably designing better than in the beginning. And
although this one is pretty dope, this is really, really cool.
For example, if I had to design this one now, it will not be like this.
Yeah.
But, and this is an exclusive because no one saw this before. These are some evolution of this first project. Let aside the blade, that was another experiment, but the handle is an evolution of that first one.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more, because here I understand there is no guard here, but this handle, what is the difference between this one and this one? Sorry, because you have
a different design of the skull crusher that is better when used in a reverse position.
Yeah.
And also this one was made at the beginning with this type of hooked blade.
Yes.
So it's more, it's easier to pull with this one.
Yes, I understand.
So there are some differences that are better in my opinion.
Just a quick note. Why did you come out with the micarta that has to come all the way here? Because you have to use it, or because it's because of aesthetics? But you are not into aesthetics, so you must have a fun.
No, because I wanted this
Jimping
zone here to be comfortable.
So the micarta around.
So now it's thicker.
Okay, I understand. Ah, yes, I totally get it now. Ah, yes, when you put the finger here, you have even the micarta that is basically a part of the part that is where your finger is resting.
Because on this one, the jimping is just for doing this kind of work. Here, the jimping is to push inside. So the amount of force that you are applying is completely different. And I think that a thicker surface is better on this one.
Yeah, I understand. So since we don't have any audio story because it would be too long, what is the knife that you want to show me next? Because I see a lot of cool stuff here. So tell me a little bit. This one, for instance, and these two that have been with Scintilla, but let's start from this if you don't mind.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Yes, absolutely.
This is the
Navy SEAL crest.
Navy SEAL crest, and tell me a little bit why is the
okay, because this one was designed for DPX Gear, that is an American brand still in business today. And at the beginning, they were made by Lionsteel here in Italy, and it's also etched.
Lionsteel here, you can see,
this is a special series. You see, with no engravings on the blade and with the silk crest, because a few of them were given to an actual Navy SEAL team to be evaluated and used during their service.
Okay, oh, that's so cool. And what year was this? Do you remember?
I don't remember exactly, but a few years ago.
Okay, and so
Lionsteel was at the time. Lionsteel was in the old factory, so a few years ago.
Yeah, and the design. Tell me a little bit the design of this blade instead. How did you? I mean, did you start from the beginning knowing that could have been used in a tactical situation, or was this an afterthought? After it was
the design was made after I received some specifications from Mr. Roberto Young Pelton, who is the owner of the brand. So he told me how big the knife should be, what he has in mind to the final product. So we decided to do something with this bottle opener and this part that could be used for punching and for prying. So everything that usually break your point.
Understand.
Now you have something else and you don't mess with the blade.
Yes, which is always bad.
Also, there is this jimping. If you see,
let me show it.
There are 3 different dimensions.
I hope you can see. Basically, it's saying that this one is a little bit bigger and this one is a little bit smaller. So from big to small with something in between.
And the idea behind that is to be used as a wire breaker. So if you have a metal wire, you put the wire here and doing like this, you can break the wire.
Yeah.
So there is also the handle is hollow, so you can also store something inside the handle.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. And from this one, if I can guide you through, let's go into something completely different instead, which is this one. So
Okay.
this is a Bowie.
Yes, it's a Bowie, and is a cutting knife, because some people try to use it as an outdoor knife, but for this kind of use I have other designs, like the tank that is not shown here, but this one is thin. You see the bevels are full height.
Yes.
So this one was mainly built for cutting. So you can see it like a European machete. Okay, because we don't have so many fresh vegetation. Our trees are a bit thicker and harder than what you find in the east. So this one was made to cut really well, to have a lot of power on this blade.
Yeah.
And it's 5 millimeters, not the usual 6, because we wanted the knife to stay light.
Okay. While you were talking, came to my mind a question that Michele, a friend of mine, asked me to ask you. So this is a thick, wide, thick and wide blade. When you design, do you take the different dimensions and the overall connection between the dimension of the handle and the blade into consideration?
Yes, the handle has a lot to do with the hand.
Yes.
So I usually start with the hand, not from the blade.
Okay.
Because the hand is always the same, and you need every handle to give enough space to at least not maybe the pinky, but all the other fingers must be on the handle. So that's my starting point.
Okay.
And in this case, the weight is another reason for this design. So you see the bottom of the handle here is really wide, because I don't want you to
have the handle that moves.
Okay, I don't want the knife to slip outside the handle. And also there is a hole here for a paracord, and another hole here, so you can use different solutions to keep the knife on you and not on your leg, on your feet, or everything else.
Yeah, and the thickness and the width of the blade, when you design the knife, you take that into consideration when you want to then get into the final product for a specific.
Yes, it was I think the right mix between the performance we were looking for and the final weight.
Okay.
Because I during the development I tried other big knives.
Yes.
But many of them had the problem of being too much weight.
Yes.
So some were around 1 kilo, and for me
it's a little bit too much.
It's really hard to take 1 kilo of knife together with you in a real outdoor situation.
Yes, for sure.
It's great in your garden maybe, but not if you have a 10 hours walk.
Yeah. Maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger could use it, but for sure not me and you. That's so cool. And while you were talking, another question came to mind. The bevel. Do you have a grinding preference, like hollow, flat, convex? I mean, I know that they are meant for different situations, but I want to ask you a little bit, and a question a little bit more difficult is, if you had only one to choose, which one would you use?
In Italy, it's really hard to have convex.
Yeah.
Okay, it's something that if you go to the northern Europe.
For Niven, for
yes,
instance.
they are used to do convex grinds. Here in Italy, you usually have flat or hollows.
Yes.
Okay, hollow is more useful for fighting knives or for hunting knives.
Yes.
And the flat is probably the most useful if you look at different situations.
Perfect. Yeah, I understand, and I actually like it.
But in my way of seeing the knife,
yes,
the problem is not the bevel, but the height of the bevel and the final angle.
Okay.
Because sometimes you see some really cool designs, but if you look at the section of the blade, it is too wide. And since this is not an axe, you can't have bevels too wide because everything else will not work in the right way.
Perfect. And especially because you were telling me when it's this thick, then it will start to cut not as precise as when the bevel is a little bit thinner.
Yes, usually in this sector, we are always trying to find the right balance between some
chipping and cutting, let's say.
Yes, with between a lot of different characteristics that are usually one the opposite of the other. Sure. Like it's like when you speak about heat treating. Okay, you prefer the blade to be a bit softer or a bit harder. It depends, because at one point we can't change the physics. So at one point everything will fail. Okay, and how this knife is going to fail is the reason why you do some choice instead of another one. For example, if you ask me for a knife because you need to go into the jungle, I will probably give you a knife that is a bit softer, but that will never break.
Yes.
But instead, maybe it will bend.
Yes.
Okay. Because a bent knife is still usable. A broken knife is not gone. Useful anymore.
Yes.
But if you want a good EDC, yes, I will probably give you a hard steel, yeah, because you need it to cut a lot and to cut for a long time. So sure. There is never the one answer. Perfect, yeah, okay. Yeah. And it's what the people is not understanding usually. There is not the perfect knife.
For sure.
The reason why I designed more than 40 different lines is because they are each one is perfect for one user and for one situation.
Yes.
So when someone come to me saying, I don't like your knife, my answer is never, you don't understand. My answer is, okay, try another one, because probably this one is the wrong one for your situation.
Sure. And so let's going back to the knives, and let's take these two. Okay, so these are Lionsteel, and remind me the name of this
these are H1 and H2.
H1 and H2.
And we developed them together with Coltelleria Scintilla, yes, and Lionsteel.
Yes, so it's a threesome.
Not a funny one.
So actually, okay, tell me, this is alloy. So if I was going to review this knife, I'm going to tell you immediately that first of all, I wouldn't know how to use it, because I'm not used to the pinky to be in a hole, and but afterwards I would say, okay, this probably is more of a tactical knife. Or so tell me what was the idea behind it, and
Okay.
how wrong I am.
This one is usually perceived as a tactical knife,
Yes.
but it's not.
Okay, perfect.
Because
So, one thing I got wrong.
And also because Denzel Washington was using this one to kill a lot of people in
This one?
Yes, in a recent film.
Okay.
Okay, but the idea was to start from the karambit, so you know the usual fighting knife.
Yes.
But a fighting knife that came from a farmer tool. So also the original was not exclusively meant for fighting. Here we don't have the hook blade that you usually find on karambits, but we have some more useful blades.
Yeah, sheep foot and drop point.
Yes. So in this case, the idea was to
yes, please continue.
To use the ring.
Yes.
To have a better grip of the knife.
Yes.
So, for example, the ring is useful to take the knife out of the sheath without losing it. Because, for example, you are in the outdoors and you have a lot of tall grass. If you lose the knife,
then it's gone.
It's gone. Okay. In this case, when it is still in the sheath, it's secured to your hand.
Yes.
Then this handle is made to be used with the finger in the ring or without, because it's still comfortable also in this way. The ring, if you put the index in the ring, you can use the knife for
with the reverse grip.
Yes, maybe for fighting purposes in this case.
Yes.
Because you can, I don't know if I am in the frame, but I try. You can work like this. So rapid extraction, you can use it in reverse grip, and also you can go with the back of the blade to hit and then return and go in the other way. But if you are using it for normal tasks and you put the pinky inside, you can use the knife like a normal one. But, for example, I'm cutting some paracord because I'm building something, I'm doing some bushcraft activities, and I have to do some knots and so on. So I cut what I need, then I keep the knife here, I do whatever I need, and then
you have it
it's here again. Or maybe I'm fishing, I cut what I need, and then it's not in the water, but it's still here, and then I can take it again.
Perfect. That's very nice. And even this one was extremely successful. Sold many of these knives, and I find it very cool as well. I mean, I am more into the beauty contest, and I really think that this is beautiful. I love the curves on a knife, and from this one, I would like to then chat a little bit. Maybe let's go to one of the questions. Actually, your sort of colleague of yours. I mean, he is a maker, but he is even a designer for work tough gear. And his name is a really nice guy. His name is Ziki Menacho. He asked me to ask you, what was the knife that basically started your career into the knife world, in the sense, even before being a knife maker, a knife designer, when you were still only a collector. What was the knife? I don't know, the Rambo knife, something from a movie?
I remember that my first ever knife was um, a, a traditional pruning knife. The britola.
Yeah, yes, yes.
Okay, it's something
It's a
that is
very traditional knife here in Italy.
yes,
Yeah,
maybe we have one
yes, maybe we have
around,
one. Okay, we can show.
and
So,
then
so you didn't have a badass
no, because
knife in mind.
I was really young. Okay, we have one. So this is the kind of knife I was speaking about. I had one that was probably from my grandfather or something like this, and I was around 6 years old or 8 years old, so I was really
Very
a
young.
child.
Yeah.
And this is traditional, and I use it for a lot of normal works,
Yes, actually, this is
cutting wood and sticks and so on.
for sure. And this
And
is amazing because this shape is not only common here in Italy, but it's been used in many other different cultures and countries, actually. Yeah.
and I also had, I remember I had a multi-tool like the Victorinox that everyone knows. It was not made by Victorinox, it was a Wenger. That was another Swiss brand that is now part of Victorinox.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I started with normal knives, and then I was looking for different. I had every type of knife.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
folding ones.
Yeah.
For example, I have the Spyderco Endura that I carried a lot.
Yeah.
And I felt in love with the Applegate Fireburn from Boker. That, in my opinion, is still the best double-edged fighting knife ever.
It is cool actually because I don't know if it is because of our generation or what, but we don't come, myself included, we don't come into the knife world from a movie, but we come into the knife world from our grandfathers or fathers. This is typical of our tradition. It's not a Rambo knife.
Yes.
So it's more a knife that is used in the field.
Yes,
So,
and my
yeah.
interest in knife was never for, I can call it external reasons,
Yeah.
but because I like to do things,
Yes.
to build things. So I started using knives as tools, and then I got passionate about them.
Fantastic. And so let's go back to your creations. And there are these two. And I would like to say that maybe after these are two different. Is this still in production? I don't remember. No,
This is still in production,
still in
yes, with
production.
Maserin.
Instead, this one is not.
No, this one is out of stock.
Oh yeah, and I think that this is really super cool. The design, you can use it as a tool. You have a screwdriver there, and it's meant even to be attached to your vest. And this one in collaboration with Coltelleria Scintilla and Fox. And yeah, tell me a little bit more about this knife, which I think it is very peculiar. The shape of the handle. I think that there are these two cuts here. Instead, they're almost pointy here. Okay, this one has the space for the tools to be connected there, and then you use them this way.
So this one came from a request from one of Scintilla's customers and also a friend that is a military operator. So he asked for a knife that was small enough to be carried inside the vest. So it has to be really slim. Also, Marco from Coltelleria Scintilla was aiming to do something more useful than a simple knife. So it has to be a tool because he is a motorbike fan. So he wanted something to be used when you are outside and something breaks. And so we came out with
with this
this
solution.
magnetic bit.
Can I show it? Maybe I can take it out. Do you
Yes.
think I can? And
maybe we have something.
okay, and this guy that sometimes brings us the tools.
Okay.
It's
The owner of the
owner
shop.
of the shop, Coltelleria
Okay.
Scintilla. I mean,
So
you guys, just let me tell you quickly. Coltelleria Scintilla sells knives, makes knives, and designs knives. So they make everything. Okay, Coltelleria Scintilla is this shop where we are now, and it is a small shop, but it makes a lot of tools and nice stuff.
and we are near Venice, so if you plan to visit Venice,
You
take
should
a
come
shot
here.
to Treviso.
Yes, exactly. So okay, so it gets connected here, and then it becomes the tool. Of course, it's not this one; it's the thing that is inside here, and you connect directly there.
Okay, and this solution came from this feature, because usually if you have the sheet will have something to connect it on you. Okay, but if you need to use this feature, I don't want you to work with the exposed blade.
Yes.
So we made a little sheet, okay, with no connectors.
Okay.
Because the idea was to connect it with the sheet on your backpack or something else. And then you take it out. The blade is covered, so you are working in complete safety.
Yeah.
And you can do like this, and then okay, because it's really you can't expect the user to take off a usual sheet to work in safety.
Yeah.
With the usual sheet, everyone will work with an exposed blade, and it will be too dangerous.
Yeah, yeah, sure. And let's go quickly with the Leo. This is again collaboration with Scintilla, and who is the maker here?
The maker was Maserin, another maker from Maniago, because Scintilla makes every design was made with a different company.
Yeah, beautiful blade, I have to say, but I would like to then take you quickly. So this one was what was the year? Do you remember, or the year of this one?
No, I don't remember the year exactly.
Okay, and
but also this one has been on the market for many years, a lot of years, and is still
produced right now.
Yes.
But since we are a little bit, otherwise people will not follow us anymore. I would like to go into the two latest blades, if you don't mind. Is that okay?
Yes, there is a third also, but we don't have it here because it's now not ready.
Okay. This is the Viper Basic 2.3, and there is the Model 1. With all the three of them have a different shape of the blade, and I think that is very cool now to see even the designs and how he came out with this blade and the reason for this handle, because I think it is a little bit different from usual. The handle, the holes. I know that he is not into the beauty, but I think that there is a beautiful pattern between the two holes and the bigger one, and the overall shape of this blade. Oh, I wanted to ask you. This one is a Wallcliff. I mean, this is more of a tactical kind of blade. Is there something that was inspiring for you in making this blade? Was this the intended purpose or anything else?
Okay, so to understand this project, we must start from another one.
Yeah.
Because this is the Berus.
Okay.
So you can see.
Yes.
Here you can see how similar they are.
Yeah.
So when we started with the basic project, we had one blade in mind with the scintilla. That was the basic tree.
Yes.
Okay. But the design wasn't this one at the beginning. And I can show you
Yes.
what I mean. This was the first design that came out just from speaking and with a military friend.
Yes.
And that told me what he needs. Okay. Then after we find the partner to start the production, so Viper in this case, I came out with the idea about making something similar to what I already did with the small one, with the Berus.
Yeah.
And make a series of 3 different designs with where is the small one?
Here, put it
okay.
Here.
So these 2 in a bigger version, and one with this kind of blade.
Okay.
Okay.
So basically, this became the basic. This one became the basic one.
No, this became the basic 3.
Basic
this
3?
Shape is the basic 3.
Ah, yes, sorry.
This is 3. The basic 1.
Yes.
And this is the basic 2.
Yes. So basically, what we are saying is that the evolution of this one is from this. We don't have the basic one, basically. This one will become the basic one.
And this is a new shape. And these 2, this is the basic 2. Berus 2 and basic 2. So this was the original design, and then when we decided to go with this family feeling for the series, it became this one. So you see, the blade is the same, all the main characteristics are the same, but now the handle is resembling the Berus one.
Cool. And this is the latest that you can find now. You can buy. There are not many reviews in English. I think there is only just one, but it is a beautiful knife from what you can even see yourself. I actually like it, even the way it feels in the hand, and I think that is a fantastic ladle because it's not too big and can be used for many tasks, and it's a fantastic little knife.
Okay, and it wasn't intended as a tactical knife.
Yeah.
Because the more tactical one of the series is this one.
Okay, that's interesting because if I was going to think about the best tactical knife, it would have been this one because of the shape of the blade. Because it's, I mean, what they say the original Warncliffe was intended for cutting, because you have more of a reach of the blade. So tell me, why do you think that this is more the tactical one?
Okay, because the design was made at the beginning to be used in not in survival situation, because survival is something that it's used to.
It's very broad.
Yes, it's too mainstream at the moment.
Okay, yeah.
You can think about a military operator as someone who finds himself in really often in outdoor situations.
Sure.
And
we have to remember that, yes, that the most cases are.
Yes, and usually they are not fighting.
Yes.
They are not fighting with the knife, but they are trying to prepare their meal. They are trying to prepare, yes, or doing something to secure the tent. So
sure.
you have to do a lot of things, and usually you can't know them before.
Sure.
So here the point is really tough.
Yeah.
You have a lot of ways of handling the knife, and this is the only one of the series with a part of the tongue that is useful to strike, and maybe if you need to hammer something,
yeah,
here you have some metal to do it.
Yeah.
So this one was intended for the tactical use. This one was came from this.
Yes.
Okay, and this was born as an alternative to a folding EDC.
Okay.
So if you, for example, if you work with boxes or with zip ties,
for sure,
this blade will work all the day in any kind of warehouse or something else.
For sure.
And this one was good for yes, this is more versatile, but this one, if you need to cut boxes and so on, is perfect.
That is perfect.
Yeah. So that's where that blade came from.
Of course. And so you mentioned folders, and here we have this folder. It's a little bit of a premiere because this is not. I mean, is it in production?
They are doing the production now. So, this is a prototype, and I can tell you the final version will be all black. Okay. So this violet,
this violet will always be for me. So I'm gonna steal this one. So this is one of the first time that you can see this kind of blade, and what is fascinating to me is that it's totally different from all the other knives that we have seen so far. So I am very curious now to hear. Is it going to be liner lock?
Yes.
Even the production.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it is in production. Has been already started the production, and then now I'm gonna let him explain. It's like tracker kind of beveling here with a hollow here.
Not exactly, because the tracker in the tracker the two parts are really divided. Okay. Here there is a flow between the different edges.
What is your take on the tracker? The fact that you have different bevels for different tasks or within the same blade. Do you like that kind of design, or is something that you
I don't like the tracker because I think that is too hard to be maintained.
Okay, and
okay, so here probably this one is a bit harder to resharpen, but is not so hard, because if you have simply a diamond sharpener like a bar one,
yes,
okay, you can do it.
Yes, for sure.
On the tracker there are really narrow angles and it's really harder to do.
Yeah. And so is this going to be a hollow grind or a flat grind? Flat grind, and even here?
Yes.
Or both flat. And it's just the different, is the angle the same or is it different in the production? Like here I feel like a little bit thinner.
Yes, but we should see the final product, because this one was just a first run, first series, but it will be quite similar. You see here it seems a bit hollow, but it's really difficult to appreciate.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you here. I don't know if you can see, there is a slight different angle here, and that's why I was asking that. So tell me about this knife.
Okay, this knife was this is a blade shape that I tried to do for a lot of years, but no one wanted to make it, to put it in production.
I think it is super cool. Super cool.
It's super cool, but it's also useful, because this one is again I returned to fighting knives. So this one is meant for self-defense. Is also useful as EDC, as outdoor tools, but this one was made for self-defense. So
Okay.
it's really fast opening. Also, when you open it in reverse position, like this, and this blade, when you are cutting, this one tends to hooks where you are cutting. So this is really a good performing tool. And you see here, I think that probably you are going to pull the handle, so the bottom of the handle is again wide.
I understand. If I can say, many people will complain about the fact that it is not a deep pocket carry. Is that something that
There isn't a deep pocket carry because, again, with the self-defense in mind,
yes?
I need something to stick outside the trouser to be
Okay,
okay.
perfect. I understand.
Because if the knife is completely inside,
It's more difficult.
you need obviously you can put a lanyard or something else, but it's not ready out of the box. So that's why, for example, this is another knife that
you designed?
Yes, this is a slip joint, and this is my most carried knife because this is the smaller one, and it's a slip joint, so for legal reasons it's easier to carry. This one has the deep pocket clip because I don't need it to be so fast, because
Sure.
I'm not using a slip joint for self-defense.
It is gorgeous, this one. Oh my goodness. I like it a lot. Beautiful. Okay, I think that we have been going through most of your career. Maybe we can finish with something totally different, which is this.
Okay, I can show you also one of the latest strange things that I made. This one.
Oh yes,
Was
I forgot to ask you about this. You know that this is one of those knives that are so cool. If I remember correctly, I didn't know you were behind the design of this one. So basically, they made this knife out of the is it this the Camaro?
We did the Camaro and the Mustang.
Yes, and so they took real Mustang and Camaro cars, and they used the steel of those cars to make the blades. I think that is a super cool project. I mean, it is, of course. I mean, I don't think that there is any practical added value, but that there is more of a connection. I mean, more of a historical feeling to it, and I really like it a lot. Yes, please tell me this.
Yes, Boker has a long tradition doing things like this, because they started
with a tank, isn't it?
Yes, we started making Damascus from barrels.
Ah, yes,
Okay,
yes, okay,
okay,
yeah.
from tanks.
Yes, from
Okay.
tanks, yeah.
And then they did it from a lot of other things like World War II Stukas,
Yes.
and so on. And they finally decided to give a try to the muscle cars. So we spoke together at during an IWA in Nuremberg, and they asked me to do something, to design something starting from the shapes of the car and trying to do a knife.
Beautiful, beautiful project.
And it was probably the hardest project that I ever made, because I explained, I think, how I design knife starting from the ergonomics. in that case, I didn't start from the ergonomics. I started from the design of the original car, and I tried to put it in a knife, but a useful knife. So it wasn't easy in any way.
I understand. I guess that it's not easy to find a shape and a design that can give you a useful tool, but at the same time a connection with the original thing.
You need to choose wisely what is going to resemble the original design, but without ruining the way you handle and you use the knife. Because in the past there are other projects like that, but the knife is not so good if you look at it as a tool.
As a tool, yeah. And I think you did a great job, because that is an absolutely stunner as a
Thank
knife. Yeah, really, really beautiful. And so I was saying before that we have been going through most of his career, not all of it, but we left one part to the end because it's something that is even connected to my job, and is in the emergency rescue field. So for those of you who are my colleagues or firefighters, or anyway people who are working in the field of the emergency rescue sector, these are the tools that he designed for that type of specific situation. Yes, please tell me.
Okay, so in fact, this one is not my design.
Okay.
Because this is the one where I started from.
Okay, that's cool.
In Italy we have Antonini.
Yes.
That is a brand that makes a lot of rescue tools. So this is one of their best sellers, and we started working together because they contacted me asking for a new evolved version of this kind of knife. So this one was and this is still in production, and this is still a bestseller among firefighters and so on.
If I remember correctly, I did a quick video with firefighters, and I checked their pockets, and this was one of the most common tools that they had in their pockets.
Okay, so this one was a liner lock, and it has a belt cutter. This is a lanyard hole, but there are different versions with other tools, and this is a glass breaker. Okay, starting from this, I developed this one. So here this is made in collaboration with Lionsteel, between Antonini and Lionsteel. Here we used a different type of lock that is, it seems like an axis, but it's completely different inside. So this one is easier to use with gloves compared to a liner lock. And this I made 3 different designs. These are 2, and there is another black one that is the third. This one is the rescue one. So it's designed, you see the belt cutter is here. You have also a screwdriver that can be also used as a prying tool.
Yeah, this is the prying tool or screwdriver that he's talking about. This is the belt cutter.
Okay, and the belt cutter is always ready to be used, also when the knife is closed. So here there is a lock, because if you are using the belt cutter like this, you have a jimping for the thumb here. If you are using the belt cutter, you don't want the blade to open. So the knife is closed, is safe to use like this. We have another magnetic bit holder. if you need to open it, since there is no tip here, you simply unlock the blade and then stick it on your vest, because it's not sharpened, so you are not hurting yourself. And you have a long blade, really sharp, with
a serrated part.
A small serrated part if you need to work on something that is not easy to cut only with
glass or belts as well.
Yes, you usually start cutting with this, and then you go with the normal edge. Also, you have a hole here that is not meant to open the knife, because you need to do like this, but you can secure the knife on you, not in the usual position, because you want to use the belt cutter, but you also want to use the blade. So if you do a hole here, it will not be so useful. And there is also
the
glass breaker, but in this model, this is not a steel glass breaker, but is tungsten carbide. So this kind of material can write on glass. You can write also on paint, like on cars and so on. Yeah. And it really more effective than any steel glass breaker.
Yeah.
With this one, you are 100% sure that you will break the lateral window.
Okay. Yeah. And sorry if I interrupt you. We are discussing about this. First of all, I would like to say how oriented his mind is towards the end goal of the tool. And as a user, I would like to suggest any of you to have something like this in the car, because in an emergency situation, if you break the glass, and you can cut the belt, you can rescue somebody with the 2 simple steps, and that it can save a life. And from this one, you went to this one, but
they were born together.
Okay.
Yes,
are they still in production?
Yes, they are still in production, and this is a more EDC oriented knife, so you don't have the lock in closing position.
Okay. Yeah.
So you can open the knife in the usual way. And this one has the Warncliffe blade, because it was the Navy version. Okay. Yeah. Then we also have a Combat SAR version that has a pointy blade. So here we have the same features, but you have the hole at the bottom of the handle, so in the classic position.
And I can see something else there, something that was here.
Yes, it's like on the orange one.
Yeah, the same thing. Yeah.
And okay, so you can use it.
Yeah.
There is also a sheet with a bit holder, so you can take more bit with you.
Yeah.
And there is also a wire clip, so you can put it in your pocket or on your vest.
So this one is more of you can use it even as a knife. This one is not. This one is just a tool, let's say. This is the way to close it, is correct?
Yes. And it's really strange, maybe, the feeling if you compare this knife to a normal sporting or tactical knife, because we wanted this lock to be really not hard, but it is harder than usual.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want it to be fast to open, but we want it to be safe. Yeah. So there is no risk that the knife opens spontaneously.
Yeah.
You need to you must want to open it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you understand what
Yes, yes, and I had that feeling. Okay. Now that I was trying to open it, I had that feeling. Okay. I said, okay, I need to open it. That's why I used the other hand. And from this one, we go instead of this one. Okay, just a quickly came to my mind. We didn't discuss steels and so on, because actually, maybe I can ask you: is there a favorite steel of yours? Do you have a favorite steel?
No, I don't have a favorite one. Usually, it depends on what we are going to do with the knife, like always. Yeah. And also, you have to consider how much is going to cost, because sure. a lot of users want a knife that is affordable. Yeah. And especially when you are really using the knife, you need it to be replaceable. So I can't use the best steel if the best steel put the knives outside of your reach.
Yes.
Okay.
Instead, this is again just a tool, although it has blade, and it is pry tool, belt cutter. I mean, a scale, not a scale, sorry, what is called this? It doesn't come to my mind. And this one is even to be seen in the darkness, even here, this side, glass breaker. And this is a tool that he made in collaboration with Antonini. But I know that here now there is even the mark of the firefighters. Is it correct?
Yes, this one is the market version, so it lacks the firefighters logo. Yeah. On the ones made for the firefighters, there is also their logo, because this one was developed together with them. So this project comes from a request from the firefighter. They were looking for an individual tool to be used during car accidents. So I work together with the team that made the rules for all the national firefighters to how to operate during car accidents. The main idea behind this one was to have something to pry, because when you are going to cut a car, you need, first of all, you need to find out all the gas cartridge and all the explosive devices and everything that is there for safety, but when you are going to cut the car, can be dangerous, because if you cut a gas can, it can explode. Maybe the same one that is there to inflate the airbag. The airbags are explosive, but this is what I mean. Yeah. So you need to find everything that could be dangerous, bending plastics and removing panels. And that's why we started from a pry bar. This is not a knife; it's a pry bar, a multi-tool pry bar. Okay.
Yes, yes.
We have the usual belt cutter. We have this one that is useful if you need to take out pins or so on. This hole is like on that one is to secure with with a safety line or something, or a gear retractor maybe. Yeah. And here we have a glass breaker, and this is again tungsten carbide. So with this one you can go through laminated windshields. Yeah. So not only the lateral ones, but even also the front one. Yeah. Especially because in the next year also the lateral ones will be laminated. So you need this one to go through.
And plus, you can write down on the glass.
Yes, you can write down on the glass or on the car if you need.
For your boyfriend.
Usually, the firefighters don't use this to write on the car, but they have some sticks to write where to cut and where not to cut. But if you don't have them, this one could be useful. These are two
tools.
Yes, and they are made to disconnect the car battery.
Okay.
Because you can cut the wire, okay, but sometimes you need to reconnect the electricity because maybe you have to open the back door and it needs the battery. So with this, you simply disconnect the battery, the car is safe, but if you need, you can reconnect them.
He knows it all. I mean,
they explained me. And we have two blades, so we have a two-way lock. So this is a button lock and it works with the blade closed, so you can't injure yourself. You have to press, then it locks into position, okay?
Yeah.
This one is a normal hook blade made for cutting seats and the ceiling, everything you need to cut open.
Yeah.
And this one is a saw, but this one is specific for glass. So
okay.
You start
like this,
punching through the windshield with this one, and then
you go through with this.
You go inside and you start cutting. This is really fast. We did a lot of experiments on cars together with the firefighters.
I can't wait to try it myself.
This is really a good tool.
Beautiful, fantastic. I really want to test it and to make a review of this tool, and I hope to do it very soon with our friends of the firefighters. So I think we came to an end. If there is anything else you want to add, how many times do you think about knives during the day?
I always think about knives, not because they are...
Else?
Yes, but I was saying not because they are my main interest, but because I also write for gun magazine and for knife magazine for a living.
I forgot.
And but first of all is because I use the knife every day, because I like to do a lot of things with my hands and I do a lot of sports and outdoor activities. So the knife is a tool that I use daily. Yeah. So I don't need to focus and to start thinking about knives because probably I'm using them.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So Tommaso, I thank you so much. I hope I can still talk to you about knives in the future. And so let's see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bellissimo. Dove è finito? Sì, lunga, un'ora e mezza.